Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to March Madness. I'm really happy to be here. As I was sitting here, I was thinking about March Madness 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I remember introducing a few ideas, like the entertainment and sports arena that went from idea to funding, to construction, to world championship. And I'm thinking about the wharf, where we have been able to open that project, start phase 2, and put DC residents to work. I'm thinking about Walter Reed, that is under construction, where Children's National is already doing groundbreaking research for children, and where a Whole Foods market is on the way. I'm also thinking about Skyland, and that we've been able to deliver it, start construction on Alito, the first market to start in Ward 7 in 20 years. And how we've been able to deliver food access grants that are taking successful businesses that have opened and operated throughout Washington, D.C., and use seed money from the government so that they can open in Ward 7. So I'm proud of the work that we've been able to announce here at March Madness to let you know what we're thinking about, you who will partner with us in making sure that these plans and these ideas come to fruition. This is our thought, that if we let you know what the government is buying, you'll go out there and deliver it for us. We talk about it here at March Madness, and we also print it annually in the district's Green Book. Has anybody seen the Green Book? Okay, make sure you get a copy of the Green Book. And I hope you recognize from all the speakers before, and I first want to acknowledge the Deputy Mayor, John Falchicchio, and the DMPED team. Give them a big round of applause. DMPED delivers. We've also been very focused in March Madness on how we're going to reach our goals of more affordable housing in the district. You know, like I do, that D.C. residents love their city. They've never been more proud of Washington, D.C., but they remain anxious about how they can afford to live here. And so we have been committed in the last 7 years in making sure we're doing more than has ever been done to build affordable housing in Washington. So with our budget last year, we hit $1 billion of funding. With my proposal this year, is $500 million more to get out the door. So that means we need great projects in every corner of Washington. That doesn't mean that every stick of affordable housing is going to be built in Ward 8, but it's going to be built in Ward 3 too. So we have a few things that we want to be very intentional about. We want to be intentional about, as we always have been, how do we get more local businesses connected to local DC projects? And part of your being here is doing exactly that. You know for sure, first, what is going to be available. You're making connections with each other, and you're participating actively in the solicitation process. That's one way. Another intention we have is to make sure that DC residents are being hired on all of these jobs. So you told me a little while ago that we had to do more to make sure that DC residents were ready. And that's exactly what Director Unique Morris Hughes spends her entire day thinking about. How can more DC residents connect to good paying jobs? You heard me when I said good paying jobs, because it takes good paying jobs to afford these great housing units that we're going to build across the city. And that's why we created the DC Infrastructure Academy that's trained 1,900 DC residents that have been placed in good paying jobs since it's been open in 5 years. And that's a good thing. But Unique needs your help. She needs to make sure that as you are developing your projects, you're hiring your contractors, you're hiring your design professionals, that you're also asking them what is their plan to hire DC residents. This year, as well, in the budget that I have presented to the council, it includes a $40 million package of legacy initiatives. And those initiatives are designed to help DC residents and DC businesses afford to stay in DC. So I hope that you will review those initiatives, like the Commercial Acquisition Fund that you can apply for, where the government will help you buy your building if you're a business that's renting your building in DC. I hope that you will also pay attention and share with DC homeowners how they can become homeowners with the Black Homeowners Fund, and also the legal services that are available to DC residents so that they can plan their estates. Nobody wants to talk about it. They need to plan their estates and make sure that the wealth that they've built in their own homes or businesses can be transferred to their families. I also had the great privilege of representing us in talking to the United States Department of Transportation. I met with Secretary Buttigieg to let them know that DC was ready to participate in every single competitive dollar that's coming out of the infrastructure and investment plan. Every single dollar. I announced yesterday our infrastructure task force, the DC Build Back Better Infrastructure Task Force. And I want you to follow the work of that task force over the course of several months to help us source ideas for how we will use our formula dollars. And also how we will go after competitive grants. So follow that process with us as well. So these are all of the ways that we will ensure an equitable comeback for DC. Being intentional about how we work with DC businesses, how we hold ourselves accountable for hiring DC residents, how we make real the promise of an equitable recovery by focusing on our legacy business owners and our residents. That's how we can do it together. Now, I know for sure that the last 2 years have tried to knock us down, haven't they? They've tried hard, but we stuck together. We followed the science. Our teams have done our level best to deliver an historic amount of recovery dollars to the bridge fund, to our commercial acquisition funds, to our hotel funds, to our arts funds, to rent relief. You name it. We've turned economic development professionals into doing another type of work. And that work was really relief so that economic development could start again. I'm really proud that we've been able to come out on the other end of this, mostly intact. But there are big pieces of our economy that were leveled by this. And so the work that we have ahead is serious, it's complex, but we have the tools and the resources and definitely the talent to deliver. So I want you to look at these projects. I want you to bring your biggest ideas. I want you to think even more broad about how you can include each other in working on these projects. And I want you to continue to give us ideas. I want to thank and acknowledge one of our partners on the council, Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie, who is here. Give Councilmember McDuffie a big round of applause. Who has really been helpful in helping us move a lot of emergency dollars, but also think about programs that are going to ensure that we have an equitable recovery. So once again, thank you. Thank you for your big ideas in advance, and let's get ready for the comeback.
Okay. case you didn't hear her. She said, come with your biggest ideas. Madam Mayor, thank you very much. Right now, let's bring up Councilman Kenyon McDuffie.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Bruce Johnson. So I'm Kenyon McDuffie. I represent Ward 5 on the Council of the District of Columbia. I also chair the Council's Committee on Business and Economic Development. And welcome to March Madness 2022. So this is a showcase, and I know we've heard already, the district's real estate development, housing, business opportunities. And I really want to thank Mayor Muriel Bowser for assembling us all in here today and all the work that she's done on economic development, but also to help spur the district's economic resurgence in the midst of this global pandemic. Let's give her a round of applause for all her efforts and work. Also, I want to recognize her team, led by Deputy Mayor John Falchicchio, all the folks at DEMPED, and all the other agencies that work to support the economic development in the District of Columbia. Let's give them a round of applause for all their efforts as well. We really appreciate you. So we're in a good place this year. We are in a good place. We can convene and gather in public, and I'm also excited about being in this really large room, Madam Mayor, with all these great people, many of whom I have not seen in a couple of years, without masks. That is a big deal, and I want to acknowledge that. I think sometimes we take certain things for granted, but as we're coming out of this pandemic, I think it's important that we recognize this is no small thing for you to have to convene this in this way. The district's FY23 gross operating budget, as you know, to combine nearly $20 billion, an increase of more than $1 billion from last year. And our revenues are back to pre-pandemic levels. That's huge. Reaching this point is no small accomplishment. Yet we still have some way to go because our recovery is still slightly uneven. Those at the top of our economic ladder continue to do well, and we must acknowledge that those who were hit hard before the pandemic are still feeling the pains of the pandemic. The district CFO estimates that employment in the district will not fully recover until fiscal year 2025. This is why March Madness is so incredibly important. It signals that the district remains strong and that the district is open, which is important for everybody to know around our region, across the country, and across the world. It unlocks the city's local procurement powers. It also is part of the signal that the economic engine that created the much needed affordable housing, business opportunities for small, minority, and women-owned businesses, and well-paying jobs for district residents. March Madness creates the energy that I see and feel in this room because of the real promise it offers to the people who are going to help get us back to where we were. It is our obligation as government leaders to extend the full faith and credit and resources of the district to remedy some of the inequities that we see across the city, but also to make sure that these projects are putting our people to work. Last year, I'm excited. I was able to work with my colleagues at the council and work with Mayor Muriel Bowser and her team, and we put $4 million to make the Commercial Property Acquisition Fund a reality for socially disadvantaged business owners to stay and grow their businesses in the district by purchasing their commercial real estate. Earlier this week, the first two recipients of this funding were announced, with 10 additional business owners closing really soon, and I'm pleased that Mayor Bowser has allocated an additional $4 million to that fund for fiscal year 2023. Two years ago, I established in the council a new certified business enterprise designation, the Equity Impact Enterprise, and it created an Equity Impact Fund to provide gap funding for instances where traditional lending to small minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, was inadequate or unavailable. I'm pleased, again, that Mayor Muriel Bowser has allocated an additional $2 million to that fund. I want to give a recognition for that as well. And after a series of conversations a few years ago that I had with minority developers here in the District of Columbia about the challenges that they face, I encouraged DMPED to establish an equitable RFP process and to work with the mayor, my colleagues in the council, to prioritize developers and development teams of color when they serve as primes in equity partnerships for development. And I'm thrilled that not only has the mayor established that program with Deputy Mayor Faucicchio and the teams, but we've seen projects awarded under that criteria, and we are seeing the sorts of progress that we need to continue to close some of the gaps that have existed in our city for so long for minorities and the folks who've been doing this work in our city for quite some time. And so I'm excited about what the future portends for the District of Columbia. I'm excited that the future economic growth of our city is going to be more inclusive, and I'm excited that we're here today to celebrate March Madness 2022. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for allowing me to be a part of this, and thank you all for being here this afternoon.
Councilman McDuffie, thank you very much. So, the next gentleman coming up tells me he's known only by his first name. That's iconic status, if you ask me. We're going to switch gears right now and talk real estate. To kick things off, I present to you DMPED's Real Estate Director, Sarosh.
Thank you very much. First of all, I wasn't expecting to follow Mayor Bowser or Councilman McDuffie. My remarks are going to be a lot less equitable. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. First of all, I want to introduce myself. Good morning, everybody. I am Sarosh Obatawala, Director of Real Estate. Today I will be providing an update on the RFPs that we plan to issue. But I do want to echo our Deputy Mayor's enthusiasm about the progress we have made and everything we have been able to deliver for the residents of the district. I am grateful for Mayor Bowser. Her proven leadership has been invaluable. We have been able to accomplish so much under Mayor Bowser. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge my team's countless hours and dedication, and the community's continued engagement and support, and of course to all of you, the industry, for your partnerships to make these projects a reality. Thank you. This year we continue our focus on improving equity in development, expanding inclusive prosperity, creating pathways to the middle class, and providing much needed affordable housing for the district. First up, we have the Chevy Chase Community Center and Chevy Chase Neighborhood Library site. This is in Ward 3, and as the name implies, this site currently houses two critical and well-used community amenities. The Office of Planning is currently undertaking a small area plan in the Chevy Chase neighborhood along Connecticut Avenue. The SAP will be a guiding vision for inclusive growth and include the OP's priorities for housing production, economic development, and equity and racial justice. This project will include new facilities for both the Chevy Chase Community Center and Chevy Chase Neighborhood Library. In the air rights above the facilities, the project is envisioned to include new residential units, including high-quality, affordable housing and senior housing. DMPED will continue to collaborate closely with the community, including hosting interactive community meetings with DPR and DCPL to ensure new facilities are aligned with the community's needs and preferred uses. The RFP is scheduled to be released in early 2023 to allow for completion of OP's small area plan. Next, we have 16 and 17 U Street. better known as the MPD 3rd District Headquarters, and DC Fvms Engine 9. This site is in Ward 1. The property's location near transit and its proximity to U Street make it an attractive site prime for new development. The location is currently zoned MU4. However, it was upflummed, as the term may be, in the 2021 Comprehensive Plan, envisioning a high-density mixed-use site. And DEMPED is encouraging respondents to maximize the development opportunity. Both municipal uses need to be retained on site. However, the district will require ground floor activation, particularly along U Street, as well as a mix of neighborhood-serving retail and other community amenities. This RFP is scheduled to be released in the fall. Next, and finally, we have another Fvms site, this time the historic Engine 3 in Ward 2, which also houses the DC Fvms and EMS Museum. The museum is actually very interesting. It includes a lot of photos, a lot of memorabilia, and a lot of old apparatus. It is definitely worth a visit. The site is in the downtown east neighborhood, just a few blocks from the U.S. Capitol, and it is within walking distance of Union Station and multiple bus stops. Due to the diversity of other neighborhood uses, we are very open to considering both commercial and residential for the property. Either way, however, the redevelopment must include returning the engine company and the Fvms Museum, and of course preserving the historic fire station. This RFP is scheduled to be released this summer. All 3 RFPs will be issued as equity RFPs. Mayor Bowser's groundbreaking initiative to enhance equity and make DC's prosperity more inclusive. To facilitate equitable access to the district development projects, DEMPED will prioritize teams that maximize by a percentage of ownership and control entities designated as disadvantaged business enterprises and or resident-owned businesses, or any entities including nonprofits and community institutions led by or majority controlled by individuals designated as socially disadvantaged. We have already issued a number of RFPs under the Equity RFP program. They have been extremely successful, and we hope to continue that success with this designation. For more information on these projects, please visit our website, dmped.dc.gov. We look forward to continuing to work with all of you, the community, and our agency partners on development in Washington, D.C. With that, I would like to transition to our next speaker, Keith Anderson, the Director of the Department of General Services, to tell you more about opportunities with his agency. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarosh, and good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Keith Anderson, the Director of the Department of General Services, and under Mayor Bowser's leadership, it is my job to build, maintain, and sustain the District of Columbia's real estate portfolio. But before we begin, one thing, I just want to make this clear. Everyone in this room's bracket is busted, right? So there's only one team to watch. So I'll make this easy for you. The University of North Carolina will take it home this year, and they're on tonight at 9:39, so get your popcorn ready. All right. Now, the mayor has made some significant investments in our city, and I'm very proud to share with you 6 of those investments, which will be great opportunities for our business community. So first up is a project from the DGS Capital Construction team. The Pat Handy Shelter project will consist of major interior and exterior renovations to the existing women's shelter located at 810 5th Street Northwest. Now, the scope of this work includes replacing the elevator, installing a new HVAC system, installing exterior waterproofing, and light interior finishes. The RFP will be released this spring, and we are excited for this project to be completed in the fall of 2023. The budget to complete this project will be approximately $3.8 million. Next, on behalf of DC Public Schools, DGS will be soliciting for a design builder for the modernization of the Truesdale Elementary School. The scope of this work involves a full modernization of the facility and property. The scope will also include a child development center that will serve a limited number of infants and toddlers and expand DCPS's pre-kindergarten seats. The RFP will be released this summer for a scheduled project completion in summer of 2025. The budget for this project is approximately $90 million. Oh, yeah. Up next, for the Department of Parks and Recreation, the Fort Lincoln Park Recreation Center renovation project, that's right, includes the construction of a new 43,000 square foot recreation and early childhood education center and the renovation of the Fort Lincoln Park. The new recreation center will include amenities such as a full-size gymnasium, an elevated running track, fitness rooms, racquetball, and a whole host of other activities for the Fort Lincoln community. The budget for this project is $40 million. The RFP will be released this spring, and the work completion is anticipated for spring of 2024. Up next, the Junior Achievement Academy project is a joint partnership between the Junior Achievement Academy and DC Public Schools. The concept of this project is to convert a 13,000 gross square foot historic building, which was the old DPR headquarters located on 3149 16th Street Northwest, from general office use to a flexible space to be used by the Junior Achievement of Greater Washington. The RFP will be available this fall. Completion is expected in winter of 2024, and the budget for this project is $9 million. Up next, this project is the Office of the State Superintendent of Education's 5th Street bus lot located at 2115 5th Street Northeast, my apologies. This project is a 12,000 square foot renovation of an existing 2-story building and site to increase functionality for drivers and includes upgrades to mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems and a new elevator. The RFP is expected and completion is winter of 2023. The RFP is expected to be released soon. The budget for this project is approximately $4 million. And last but not least, the Daly Building, the headquarters for the Metropolitan Police Department, will be receiving renovations. This includes moving the Joint Operations Control Center and the Central Cell Block from the Daly Building to the Marion Barry Jr. Building and 501 New York Avenue, respectively. In order to accommodate the MPD headquarters at the Marion Barry Building, renovations will take place on levels 1C, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Currently, the solicitation for the renovations at the Marion Barry Building have been advertised as of the 18th of this month, and work is anticipated to be completed by fall of 2023. The budget is $15 million for this project. For more additional information and additional projects, please visit DGS at dgs.dc.gov for a full listing of solicitations. Thank you, everyone.
I didn't know that it was permitted to shout out the name of your team once you got up here. I don't have a dog in this race anymore because my team, which was hyped to begin with, Kentucky, they were overrated, one player, so they were out. I'm looking at Villanova and maybe Duke. North Carolina hasn't been that good since Michael Jordan, right? Why'd somebody roll a basketball out here next? Delano Hunter is coming up next, Department of Recreation.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Delano Hunter, and I'm proud to serve as the director of the D.C. Department of Parks and Recreation. And at DPR, we have an unofficial title, right? We are the agency where fun happens, right? We're in the fun business. We love to have fun. But with that fun comes an awesome responsibility, duty, and obligation, as we're one of the few agencies. There are some, but we're one of the few agencies that serve residents from their very early years through their senior years. And in order to do that, we have a wonderful staff, but we need world-class facilities that help us to meet our mission. And I'm proud to say that in 2021, we were ranked by the Trust for Public Land as having the #1 park system in the nation. Now, this is a sore spot for many of my colleagues around the nation. They tell me, they say, hey, Delano, that's all fine and dandy, but you all, it's the National Park Service. That's the monument. They're not talking about D.C. But if you dig into the rankings, they cite the local investments in our dog parks, in our pools, in our aquatic features, in our tennis courts as the reason that we're ranked #1 because of the equitable investment. And that's because of the vision and leadership of our Mayor, Muriel Bowser. So we like being #1, right? We like being a district of champions. And in order to be #1, we have to make additional investments to ensure that we have world-class facilities. So we're going to dig into a few. Next slide. Now, I'm not going to belabor the point. Director Anderson has mentioned Fort Lincoln, but I want to make this a little more personal. Outside of my home, I think I spent more time on this 27 acres than anywhere else growing up. This is my elementary school, the former Fort Lincoln Elementary School, which went through 8th grade. Also home of the Fort Lincoln Recreation Center at the time that I grew up. So I spent a lot of time in this parcel. So I'm excited because we have an opportunity to activate the entire 27 acres, which is one of our largest parcels in our inventory, in addition to a recreation center with an elevated walking track, with our second largest fitness center with the full gym, a demonstration kitchen. It'll also include an 8,000 square foot early childhood centers. But we're not just focusing on the facility. The park space, which was once the crown jewel of our inventory, transferred from the federal government during the 70s, has not been ADA accessible, so it isn't inclusive for all residents to be able to enjoy that green space. So we're looking at activating the entire parcel, and we have a wonderful design firm on board. The community, we had 100 folks participating in our community meeting a few nights ago, and we look forward to bringing on a construction manager, so be on the lookout for RFP this spring. Now let's talk about the Douglas Recreation Center. This sits on a 5.2 acre site in the Great Ward 8. And why I'm excited about this one, because this site harkens back to an old recreation model when recreation was something that was seasonal. You did during the summer months and you had an outdoor pool. And we know now in the 21st century it doesn't meet the full and dynamic needs of our community. So the goal is to upgrade this facility to have greater connectivity between the pool and the recreation center to offer year-round comprehensive recreation. So it's just a 5,000 square foot facility now. We're building fitness centers that are 3,000 and 4,000 square feet. So we're excited about this and be on the lookout for an RFP so we can get a design firm so we can start to engage our community this spring. And last but not least, I want to discuss the Upshot Recreation Center in Ward 4. Now, this pool that you see hosts over 50,000 visitors each summer to that pool. The recreation center, just a fraction, not so much. Again, it was built in the 1960s. It sort of harkens back to an older model of recreation. And with this investment, we'll have greater connectivity between those two amenities, just like we have at Douglas. And we're proud to work with the Department of General Service to release an RFP this spring to bring on board a design firm so we can engage the community. So those are just 3 projects. There are many, many more, some great, some large, some small, but all will be equally impactful in ensuring that the district maintains its status as having the best parks and recreation system in the nation. Thank you all.
Gosh, where'd you get that voice? You sound like a television anchor man. You make a lot more money, fewer hours. I'm just saying. Okay, you gotta have options these days. The mayor's like, hey. Now from the DC Green Bank, we'd like to welcome to the stage CEO Ellie Hubson.
Thank you. I'm Eli Hubson, CEO of the DC Green Bank, and March Madness is a really special time for me. So I really want to thank you, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, for the chance to be here today. It's the DC Green Bank's first March Madness, and I love March Madness. I grew up in a small state. We don't have professional sports teams. We had the University of Kentucky basketball team, but we won't talk about that anymore. So what is DC Green Bank? We were established with the vision of the Mayor in 2018. We use public dollars to leverage private dollars to support sustainable infrastructure in the city. And we really took the mayor's vision of focusing on sustainability, creating jobs for DC residents, and inclusive prosperity. So making sure that our investments are benefiting all residents of DC. And we've implemented that successfully over my almost 2 years now at DC Green Bank. So our vision is a thriving, clean economy for all DC. And we look to work with all of you. Our audience is all building owners, all contractors, all nonprofits, community service institutions, and small businesses. What we look to try and fund here in DC, and our sector focus, is solar, high-performing buildings, so we're excited to be here with the real estate community, stormwater management, green infrastructure, and also electric vehicle charging and electric vehicles. We look to work at every stage of the project, and we've successfully closed pre-development, we've successfully closed construction loans, and we've successfully closed permanent financing for these types of projects. Our Navigator pre-development loan has rates available as low as 1.99% for affordable housing and nonprofits. So if you're in that space, you don't know where to start, you're looking to do a sustainable project, come and talk to us. Next slide, please. So some of the projects that we've done, I mentioned solar. We've done community solar across the city. We've done multiple solar for all construction facilities with our partners at DOEE. We've also created revolving credit facilities for solar developers to help them grow their business. We're really proud that the solar developers that we've partnered with were trying to expand their business, grow larger projects, and do work that they hadn't been done before. So traditional banks, they wanted to see, have you done a $2 million project before? Have you done a $7 million project before? And the flexible dollars that we have at the DC Green Bank are able to help support those developers as they grow, help them move into the ownership model, working with developers to really build a generational wealth for underrepresented minorities is a key piece of what we do, and we're very excited to be working on that. We've done pre-development for net zero affordable housing. I'm excited to help contribute to the mayor's goal on affordable housing. It's a critical piece of what we do. We've also closed stormwater construction facilities where we're providing dollars that are based on the inflow of stormwater retention credits, and we're creating value for those property owners, whether it's churches, whether it's cemeteries, or whether it's schools in the MS4 section of the city. So really excited to be working on that. And then closing, hopefully today, we want to announce that we have invested in Shiloh Baptist Church to upgrade their energy efficiency systems, replacing their HVAC, and using the savings that they're going to see over the next 10 to 15 years to finance that. So that's hopefully closing today, fingers crossed, but a little bit of an announcement there from us on that. So looking forward, we have several partnerships that we wanted to announce. We are a proud participant of the Retrofit Accelerator, which my colleagues from DOEE mentioned, working with DCSU on that. Over the summer, we will be launching a dedicated building energy performance standard financing window with products that are designed to help building owners meet BEPS. We've also announced one and will be announcing another private capital partnership with local CDFIs to reach small businesses that are making loans that are smaller than we can manage, but really loans up to $150,000 with rates as low as 3%. So small businesses, we are looking to work with you through our CDFI partners in particular. We are providing technical and management support to borrowers. we can take the time to develop a special product. If we don't have something that works for you, we can create a new product. We want to hear from you and your needs, and looking to meet all of those with our flexibility. And then coming soon, hopefully within the next month, but at least the next 2 months, we will be launching a program with a credit union to support all DC residents when they want to make investments in their homes, in their vehicles, to do those upgrades. So be watching the DC Green Bank for that. We're excited to be launching that. Contact information is on the next slide, and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm told Councilmember Anita Bonds is en route. She's running a little bit late, but she's looking forward to addressing this group. Time to switch gears once again and provide business updates and announcements. So to provide updates on business recovery and support, I'd like to welcome DMPED's Director of Business Development, Sabangala Cook, to the stage.
All right, so I don't have a development project to share. Green Bank, that's not us either. But on behalf of the mayor, I have some investment dollars. Anybody interested in that? Yes? We have any small businesses here? Maybe? I see some hands. Okay, super. So good afternoon. My name is Sabangala Cook. I am the Director of Business Development and Strategy at DMPIT. And the first investment that I'm going to talk about is the Small and Medium and Business Growth Fund. This is a $5.4 million fund. I'm going to say that one more time. It's a $5.4 million fund. This is an opportunity for the Bowser administration to invest in our growing small businesses who may have large equipment purchases, tech upgrades or enhancements to scale, also capital improvement dollars, just to name a few things that this opportunity is for. The awards range anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000. I'm going to say that one more time. Ranges from $25,000 to $100,000 for businesses. Yes? The application is going to open in April 22nd. That's a Friday. Leading up to that, you'll be getting more and more information because we want people to be grant ready for this opportunity. I need for you to be ready for this and take advantage of these opportunities that are available. Also, this is for businesses, this is for retailers, this is for professional services, this is for tech companies, this is for commercial business industries as well. So this opens up an opportunity for a much larger universe of businesses that'll be able to take advantage of this opportunity. Anybody excited about that? Yes? Oh, okay. Wonderful. Fantastic. I'm going to go on to the next one. This is one that's already been open and available, but we've made some new enhancements to this one. It is the Special Event Relief Fund. Very excited about this opportunity as well. This is a $3 million fund to create opportunities for those who are creating experiences outdoor through the summer, throughout the year, and we absorb the cost of those district fees, permits. Somebody say that again. Somebody got excited? Lovely. And we want you all to take advantage of this opportunity. Like I said, it'll cover those, it'll absorb those costs by the district, those fees that you'll incur from MPD, DPR, DDOT, DPW, DOH, DCRA, ABRA as well. Yes, somebody's clapping. That's a great thing. You guys should expect to see a lot of amazing activations through the course of the summer, right? Is everybody going to get out? Because what has everybody been saying so far? DC. You heard? Okay. All right. Okay. And where are you going to find all this information? Deputy Mayor, they were taking notes. They were taking notes when you said it. And so the enhancement that we've also created is an opportunity to even absorb some of those costs when you're talking about tents or AV and things like that for setup as well. So we'll be taking a look at those. We would like for you to apply at least 45 days before your event, please. Okay? Yes? Please don't do it the day before. 45 days in advance is recommended, okay? This is a $3 million fund, again, so that we can have beautiful experiences here in DC for our residents, for people who come to visit. We hope that you take advantage of this. The email address and all of that information will be where once again? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Workforce theme speakers. It's time to shift to our final theme of the day, workforce. Next to the stage, I present Director Dr. Unique Morris Hughes from the Department of Employment Services.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I know that this is March Madness and a DIMPED event, but I'll tell you, if we were at 4058 Minnesota Avenue, we'd be playing the Isley Brothers saying we have work to do, because DC is open and district residents are willing and wanting to work. So I have to tell you, we were so excited to be invited today. I might have the most slides. Because of that, I will go through them very quickly and I will not read every single slide. So let's get to work and talk about what's happening at the Department of Employment Services. So we have very, very, very big announcement last week. The mayor helped us introduce some of her investments at the DC Infrastructure Academy, which we are very proud of, and which President Biden mentioned us as a national model of training district residents in infrastructure related or infrastructure positions. But last week we released a RFA of up to $10 million. I did say up to $10 million. You can clap for that. To get 2,000 residents, at least 2,000 residents prepared to successfully enter the workforce. That RFA is open and on the street right now as we speak. I encourage everybody to check it out and apply. We also recently have made an award of $500,000 to 2 community-based organizations for a Jobs Ready grant. This is for our district residents that don't need as much training and that are ready to go to work today. Additionally, a few years ago in this administration, we created the Pivot Partnership with Georgetown. So we connected DC residents, and we're still connecting DC residents with Georgetown University high quality training in entrepreneurship and business and legal services. And then when we created this, the announcement had not been out yet, but Mayor, under your leadership, and as of July 1, we will raise the training wage from $12.50 an hour to align with minimum wage, which will be $16.10 per hour. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, because we know people shouldn't have to choose between training and earning a wage. So that is $16.10 per hour. Next slide. I will go through this very quickly, I promise. We also created what we called a common labor initiative. We understand how important First Source is, but we also understand the labor market. And I'm very clear about the supply and demand. And so we now have a pathway and opportunity for our district residents that want a opening into the construction trades to now obtain positions as a general laborer, which requires less technical skills, but gets their foot into the door so they can obtain the technical skills that they need. We're very, very, very proud of this. If you want to learn more on how to meet your First Source compliance with all these wonderful construction projects, please reach out to us and we will help you get there. Next slide, please. The DC Infrastructure Academy, we are super, super excited of what I call the Office of Talent and Client Services, because I am super clear that DC residents are talented and competitive candidates ready to not just work in the district, but the region. And so just like the mayor said, we're coming for every single competitive dollar. Well, our district residents will be prepared and coming for every single job that is available, not just in the District of Columbia, but in the region. So we will continue to build our muscle in our Office of Talent and Client Services, and we will also add an additional $5.2 million to expand DCIA programs and add an additional 200 slots to DCIA. Apprenticeship, there's a lot of discussion with apprenticeship that's taking place right now. And you see how excited I got because there's about 500 words on this slide. But what you need to know is 3 things. More apprenticeship opportunities, which means this is paid work experience where an employer hires a candidate directly. 2, we are opening the doors to youth apprenticeship so we can get our young people prepared early to enter into all sorts of apprenticeable fields, not just construction, but healthcare, IT. And then the third thing, there is money to support businesses who are ready to take on a talented DC resident candidate today. So those are the most 3 important things you need to know about this slide. Next, please. And then next, Office of Unemployment Compensation. So some of you all may know me for unemployment compensation. And earlier in the pandemic, it was more about applications that were filed. But I'm really proud to say that DC is a model in how we run our unemployment compensation program. So much so that we are one of 6 states that was just awarded a $2.2 million grant to improve our equitable practices to make sure that we eradicate and eliminate any barriers as it relates to accessing unemployment. And we were able to do this because of the investments that the mayor has made into our program. So if you want to learn more about what we are doing, feel free to visit our website. And remember, not only is DC open, but we got work to do because DC residents are ready to work. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. That was excellent. Now we'd like to bring to the stage the masterminds behind the Google Tech certification. Please welcome Google.org's Head of Impacts and Insights, Andrew Duckelman, and CEO of Community and College Preparatory Academy, Jason Lodi.
Good afternoon. Thank you to the mayor and the deputy mayor for having us this afternoon. Google's called DC home for 15 years now, and we are growing. In fact, in 2020, our CEO Sundar Pichai announced that it would be one of 4 growth hubs for Google, given the incredible local diverse talent here in the region. At Google, we believe that job opportunities created by technology should be available to everyone, and that includes all DC residents. 2/3 of jobs today require digital skills, but many people, especially underrepresented folks, experience barriers to access those skills and those good-paying jobs that come with them. So today, I'm excited to announce that we are deepening our investment in DC through a new workforce readiness initiative with Community College Prep. Through a $1 million grant investment, we're supporting CC Prep to expand their IT Pathways program to include 250 new learners, receiving scholarships for a Google Career Certificate with wraparound supports including one-on-one career and success coaching, wellness services, mental health, and more. Our aim is to place all these learners in fast-growing jobs with family-sustaining wages. These certificates equip people with in-demand job skills in IT support, data analytics, and more in 3 to 6 months with no college degree or experience required. 150 companies now, including Google, Leidos, Booz Allen Hamilton, and more, consider these certificate graduates for entry-level roles. So we are so thrilled to partner with CCP Academy. They're such a well-respected community partner who have a proven track record in skilling folks for these good-paying jobs and working in particular with the underserved Ward 7 and 8 districts. They are such a critical resource in the community, and we are really delighted to work with them. And with that, I'd like to introduce Jason Lodi from CC Prep to share more about how folks can sign up.
I was expecting one of those big checks, but I don't see it. Not yet. My name is Jason Lodi. I am the CEO of Community College Preparatory Academy. We are an adult public charter school located in Ward 8, and we'll be celebrating our 10th year of activity as a public charter school next year, deeply rooted in Washington, D.C. I'd like to thank Andrew and Google.org for this important investment in DC residents. We at CC Prep are excited to partner with Google to expand our IT pathway that includes Google Data Analytics as the first of what will become many Google certificates to be offered at CC Prep. This partnership will help DC residents enhance their IT skills in response to the growing need for advanced analytical skills in the workforce. And I'm excited to announce that applications are open today. I invite you to share this information, and if you are interested in this program, you can visit our school website, ccprep-academy.org, to connect with us, start your application, and begin your journey to advancing your IT skill set with a Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate. Thank you, thank google.org, and I look forward to the amazing outcomes that we will provide for the DC residents who participate. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, both Google and Community College Prep. So I just get the opportunity now to close this out. So how many people learned something new today? All right. If you see somebody without their hand up, ask them how they knew it all, because I learned a lot new today too. And what we saw on display is the amazing people who do this work every day. But there's also a lot of support of those people. So some of them are here in the room, but there's also people who helped make today possible too, who are going to be here or who were here before we got here today, and will be here well after we leave today. So let's give a round of applause to all the folks who are here, from the interpreters to the camera folks to the soundboard to the people who checked us in. And then a lot of times when people call me with a complex problem and I don't know how to handle it, I just say, well, shoot me an email, and I'll loop in Sharon. So Sharon Carney's here. Let's give her a round of applause for helping us get through today. Natalia is standing on the side there. Let's thank her for pulling us all together today. Lots of emails, lots of calls to get us to where we were today. So listen, over the last 2 years, we faced a lot, right? We experienced sacrifice, right? We knew loss. But we also saw resilience, and that resilience is what we're also here to celebrate today, and it'll allow us to really fuel our comeback. So over the past few years, you've heard the mayor say that we're all in this together, and that we'll get through it together. And so when we think about our comeback, we have to make sure that we have that same spirit of togetherness as we make the comeback more equitable. So that's what today was all about. I got to say that it is great to be back in person again. I just have to remind you, there's one site that you can go to find all this information. Now, give us a little bit of time. It's taking a lot of work to get it all together, but we're going to update it over the next couple days. One more time. What's that website? For those watching us on the stream, it's obviouslydc.com. And the hashtag that we want everybody to use is both obviouslydc.com, and it's exciting to be back in the room today with all of you because DC is open. So thank you very much. Check out the website. Keep sharing it. And thank you all for the work that you do every day.